I'm Shah.
And today we're going to be talking about an important part of a plant cell, which is the chloroplast. Before we begin, let's see a simple diagram of a plant cell.
Okay, as you can see, this is a simple diagram of a plant cell. We have the cell membrane, the vacuole, the cell wall, the nucleus, the chloroplast, and the cytoplasm. So today we are going to talk about the part of the cell which is responsible for making food, which is the chloroplast.
This one is what we have as a model of a chloroplast inside. So if we take a look at inside of the model of a chloroplast, we actually have three membranes. Okay, so here the outside is called the outer membrane, and this red line denoted inside is your inner membrane. The third membrane is what we call the thylakoid, which is a disc-like structure, which more will be talked about it later. And the liquid inside this whole cell is what we call the stroma. Now the outer chloroplast membrane is a semi-porous membrane that small molecules and ions can easily diffuse across. However, the outer membrane is not permeable to larger proteins. The inner chloroplast membrane forms a border to the stroma, which is the liquid in between of the chloroplast. It regulates passage of materials in and out of the chloroplast. In addition of this regulation activity, the fatty acids, lipids and carotenoids are synthesized in the inner chloroplast membrane. Now, the space between the outer membrane and the inner membrane is called your intermembrane space. This is usually a thin intermembrane space which is about 10 to 20 nanometers thick that exists between the outer and inner chloroplast membranes.
As you can see, there is a lot of space in the chloroplast cell. In an actual chloroplast cell, this space is filled with a liquid substance called the stroma. The stroma contains many proteins and starch granules. This is also the place where carbon dioxide is converted into sugar. The process is known as the Calvin cycle. This disc shape is known as the thylakoid. Thylakoids are small interconnected sacs which contains membranes that the light reaction of photosynthesis takes place on. The thylakoid consists of a membrane which is filled with liquid called the thylakoid lumen. In most cases, the thylakoid is actually stacked inside the chloroplast cell, and this whole stack is called the grana. The thylakoid are very active in adapting to light conditions. When the light intensity is too high, the thylakoid will actually shrink in order to minimize damage that it receives from the sun. When the light level is very low, the thylakoid will actually expand in order to maximize the amount of sunlight that it receives. And there you have it, the inside of a chloroplast.